Hey there. So I am in my camper and I am reading one of my favorite things to do when I'm camping. I'm reading, let's see if I flip it around here. Rise, Sister Rise by Rebecca Campbell. It's not the first time I've read it, but it's a good one, and I gain things from it every time I read it. It resonates in newer, deeper ways every time I read it. So I came across this passage that I think is a really great message to share. It's one that I keep hearing. So I guess it's a message for me personally because I keep having it reinforced over and over again, keep coming across it. But I think it's just a really good message for everybody to put out there, that there are so many ways that other people tell us who we are and who we're supposed to be and how we're supposed to be doing things or how we should do things. And as we grow up, just naturally, because that's how everybody's been raised, how our parents were raised, how their parents were raised. So it gets passed down. It's generational in that way, hereditary in that way. And we have an opportunity to stop that cycle and change it going forward, and really connect with who we are and make the choices that are right for us based on our true nature and our soul guidance. Okay, so here's the message. Let me flip it around. Let's see if I can get the book flat here. Okay, so in order to allow our true nature the space and nourishment it needs to rise, we must be vigilant at creating an intimate relationship with ourselves. We must study ourselves, become experts in you. If others have an opinion of you, it is simply that, an opinion, theirs. An opinion tainted by the filter that they see the world through. So I know I've talked before in my videos about how based on our past experiences, let me reword that. Our past experiences create the filter that we are seeing through. So somebody, like I'm camping right now, somebody could have had a past experience camping where everything went wrong and was terrible. So then every time they think of camping in the future, they're like, oh, hell no, I don't want to do that. Other people can have a great experience camping and they want to go back again and again and again. And this is like year 15 up here, I think, for me personally, but my husband and his family have been coming up here for like 25, 30 years, something like that. So anyway, and then there's experiences all over in the middle, right? Like it's not all good, it's not all bad, it just is. And that the beauty is finding the just isness of being in the just isness and not judging it and just experiencing it as it happens. So, okay, so going back to how others are making judgments about other people, possibly you, based on their past experiences and the filter that that's created. It doesn't mean their judgments and opinions are correct. It just means that they have a perspective that they haven't let go of yet, and they only see things, the future, so to speak, through that lens rather than just letting it go and allowing the future, or allowing the present moment and future to be as it is. Okay, so let's go back to it. Let's see. As a change maker, you are choosing to see the world in a different way. Most people are not like you. Change makers change things. Change is uncomfortable. That's another really good point. When you start not changing who you are, when you start allowing yourself to be who you are rather than how everyone else wants you to be and says you should be, people are going to get uncomfortable because they can't predict how you're going to be anymore. They can't control how you're going to be. They a lot of times see you starting to be you, and that highlights for them how they're not being themselves, and they get really uncomfortable with that because it can be scary being yourself when you've lived your whole life being what other people want you to be. To start being yourself is going to shake things up, and it might mean people don't like you for whatever reason, again, because they can't control you usually, or you're not conforming to their ideals and blah blah blah. But yeah, okay, let's see, what was the other point? So yeah, change is uncomfortable. Change makers change things. And okay, let's go back to the book. Okay, We must be relentless in the reclamation of who we are, so that when another comes with their judgments, and they will, especially when you're forging a path, you are so secure in your core identity that no words or amount of energy can flow through you, no words or amount of energy can throw you off your course. No one gets to say who you are but you. I want to go back to this section right here. Be relentless so that when another comes with their judgments, and they will, especially when you're forging a path. If you have ever read any Brené Brown books, you're probably very familiar with Daring Greatly and The Man in the Arena, which is something that I think Teddy Roosevelt had said. Something about, and you can look it up, it's all over the internet, The Man in the Arena. But basically, it's the man who is in the arena, the one that's marred by dust and grit and basically doing the work, that is the one that's daring greatly, where the others sitting around watching you forge your path, so to speak, are the ones that are making the judgments, and you know, they're the ones sitting on the sidelines. They're not actually doing the work, but they're the ones judging. So it's going to happen, and I'm sure you've already experienced it hundreds of times. You're doing something different and you're hearing other people talk about you, judge you. Just let it be. The most loving response that you can do is to be yourself and let them be who they are. Right now, there's somebody who's in a state of judging, and at some point they will realize, they'll start to come along too with aligning with who they are, and start to learn how to let go of those judgments. That's just not where they're at right now, and that's okay. We're all in different places, different spaces, and sometimes even though you may have let go of your judgments for the most part, you might find yourself judging again in the future. So it's all just ebbing and flowing, and you are responding to life as it unfolds from a place of centeredness, groundedness, and rather than just reacting to it and being thrown off course by it. Okay, have a great day. Bye.